Hello guys, welcome to this video, and today we learn hydroponic systems. What is it? What is this? We read the books about hydroponics gardening. This name is hydroponics for the home grower, um, Howard M. Resch, and grower produces West Indies. Okay, I am a Venus project enthusiast that try realize ideas of Jacques Fresco and technologies. I try make electronics. I learn KiCads. I use Arduino for some things. I try make hydroponic systems now in the current date today to January 2026. I use LMMM, IE assistants. I use MCP servers, REST API, Arduino for collecting data from sensors. I use Raspberry Pi, but I use really analog, like Orange Pi and C code, JavaScript code, Python code, different programming languages. I not lock self in one tool and try some things. I use GNU Linux systems and open source code and free software, Libre software. Okay, let's learn hydroponics. Hydroponics for home grower. In this video, we read first chapter in the section 1, history and background of hydroponics. Let's start. I show you the structure of this book. History and background of hydroponics, section 2, understanding hydroponics and how plants grow. Section 3, nutrients essential to plants and their sources. I say what this means. Section 4, hydroponic systems. Section 5, year-round grown in greenhouses. Section 6, vegetable crops and their cultural techniques. Chapter 5, 6, 7, sprouts and microgreens. Okay, let's show you what I mean. Sidebar, chapter 2. We did chapter 1 in this video, but I show you chapter 2 with the images. Plants can be grown using only water, but water needed nutrients. Nutrients like minerals. My goal is understand how make nutrient solutions. This means water with minerals that plants using for generate his structures. Let's see images. No, not here. I show you others. Oh, yes. See, we use containers or something, so like tubes, plastic tubes. We take seeds into water solution or something. So the first we generate small plants. We take sponge, take seeds, and wait when create environment, and wait when seed start generate plant, and we take these plants and seeds into cup, water solution or nutrient solution, water with minerals. Plants make roads, and take minerals or nutrients, you know, from this water, and plants generate his structures like flowers, like editable parts, etc. We need the light, we need the air, we need the check pH level and etc that I don't know now, and we learn we can grow some things, vegetables. Oh yes, hydroponic systems can be different. Aeroponics, nutrient film technique, wake system, drip system. We need the pump that flows the nutrient solution by roots, or we just sit down into container without energies and not use. We can generate oxygen, but I don't know about it. We check this later. You can see images. The, this plant, the pomodoro, I think, not use fucking gross. Not use this. This use only water and strange with this. See, roots, water solution, nutrient solution. Okay, nutrient solution. Roots use minerals. He get nutrients and he is live, and if we select wrong nutrient solution we can get these flowers um, that's not useful for us. This can kill or plants can this. Okay, caps, bottle, this I don't know what's name, net pots, turn into inch, container dreamer, blah 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 blah. I just did is clay stones or rocks. No, we can use rocks. It is nutrient solution, special. I need to know how create this solution. Water and what I can mix, what components, what compounds I can mix in water to get this solution and charge my plants. Interesting. City. So for roots, yeah, put it into solution in bottle, blend. This is just simple, very simple. We can get, we can create these. Interesting. How in the winter he's make what in the greenhouse? Ventilation, cooling the air, ventilations. Oh, heat pump, air that is table, tanks. Interesting system. Very interesting. But I just homemade. But in future I can asking administrations for realize this biggest environment. Aeroponics, fresh. Okay, let's read first chapter. How hydroponics started, its present and future applications. During ancient times, people faced many challenges while gardening. Being the curious animal man is, he wanted to find out what made plants grow. Check the book Manhood of Humanity and Man is Not Animal. This is time-binding glass of life. Okay, soil was a mysterious material that somehow provided the right conditions for plants to grow from seed into plants that produced edible parts, often pelagic and pestilence reduced or even destroyed the yields of plants that societies heavily depended on for their well-being. When crops failed, societies suffered famine, and this I make pause. Alright, alright, where I stop it. Bam, 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 bam. During ancient times, people faced many challenges while gardening. Soil was a mysterious material that somehow provided the right conditions for plants to grow from seed into plants that produces editable parts. Often pelagic and pestilence reduced or even destroyed the yields of plants that societies heavily depend on for their well-being. When crops failed, societies suffered famine and disease. Such crop failures led to wars between neighboring communities and even the deaths of ancient civilizations and cultures. I heard the phrase "no agriculture, no culture" recently on a TV historical documentary. This statement clearly points out the fact that cultures and civilizations are dependent on crops for their survival. If man knew more of the causes of these crop failures, he could try to prevent them. This became the basis of agriculture to find out the reasons for plants to thrive so that man could cultivate plants under favorable conditions, which would lead to abundant production. Ancient civilizations became aware that water was essential for any agricultural practices, so populations gathered in areas that had an abundant source of water that could be used for growing plants, usually by streams, rivers, lakes, or springs that had fresh water. Civilizations developed where they could practice agriculture. Fertile soil existed in valleys of rivers and near lakes. Such soil supported productive crops and human centers. When groups of inhabitants experienced harsh environments that restricted their agricultural crops, they needed to examine what factors reduced yields and what could be done to improve them. In the early times, men became aware of growing plants in specific environments and tried new methods of cultivation, both aesthetics and food. Egyptian hydroponics records of several hundred years BC described growing plants in water. Egyptians, peoples, Egyptians try hydroponic. Okay, Theophrastus during 372 to 187 BC experimented with plant nutrition. A form of hydroponics was established with the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the floating gardens of the Aztecs of Mexico, and the Chinese. However, these were not called hydroponic culture, even though they were a form of it. Further experiments with the scientific approach to discover plant constituents were carried out by numerous scientists during the 17th century and later. They were able to discover what water, soil, and air water, soil, air provided elements such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Water, soil, air, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen that were constituents of plant matter. Researchers later continued to demonstrate that the minerals that plants contained came from the soil via the soil water. Okay. This enabled scientists to later grow plants in water. That's what I say. Minerals in water. We not use growth, we use water, but we need put into water the minerals, the nutrients that plants can use for his life. Okay, this enabled scientific to later grow plants in water alone without soil, provided that these minerals were added to the water. This became nutriculture, where plant roots were immersed in a water solution containing salt of their essential elements. From 1925 to 1935, laboratory scale nutriculture was expanded to commercial scale production of crops. However, it was not until the 1930s and 1940s that the application of nutriculture was applied on a commercial scale by Dr. V. F. Carrico of the University of California and termed hydroponics. The word hydroponics was derived from two Greek words, hydro, this means water, and ponos, labor, water working. In the 1940s, with the war in the Pacific, Carrico applied hydroponics to commercial production in the Norable Islands, where crops were stationed. After the war, hydroponic culture was adopted by greenhouse industry to resolve problems with soil-borne diseases and pests, as well as structural and nutritional challenges faced by year-round growing in greenhouses. Figure 1.1 Soil, small plant, small plant, big root system. Hydroponic smaller root system, more healthy and more reproductive. How much editable parts and so little. Interesting. Comparison of plants growing in soil versus in a soil-less system. It is in nutrient solution in water. It is in the soil without growth in soil, but in water. This in soil grows. Okay, this is interesting, very interesting. This became nutriculture. No, I read this. Now, almost all crops grow in greenhouses, including vegetables and ornamentals, use some form of hydroponics. Forms of types. It may also be termed soil-less culture. When using an inert medium other than soil to which a nutrient solution is added. Hydroponic greenhouse growing is now worldwide. Some of the large vegetable greenhouse production regions include Holland, Spain, England, Canada, United States, Mexico, Turkey, China, Australia, and Middle Eastern countries. But in regions not has a effect. Holland has more than 25,000 acres of greenhouse production, which includes ornamentals, and flowers. Canada has about 2018 acres of greenhouse hydroponic vegetable production, and the United States 1015 acres. China is rapidly expanding its greenhouse production, with presently approximately 3,100 acres. Other areas of expansion include Turkey, Mexico, Morocco, and Australia. Hobby, cul- Hobby hydroponic culture started in the 1940s and 1950s with gravel and water culture systems. These were mainly do-it-yourself projects. In the 1970s, some of the first commercially available hobby hydroponic units entered the marketplace as automated systems to simplify hydroponics for households. The City Green, the City Green Hydroponicum was one of the first such units constructed of molded plastic with an upper growing tray and a nutrient reservoir below. The substrate was volcanic cinder rock or expanded clay irrigated by a small perforated plastic tube on the top of the medium. The substrate was volcanic cinder rock, or just volcanic rock, or expanded clay irrigated by small perforated plastic tube on the top of the medium. A tube from a fish aquarium. This tube. Components of indoor unit. Aquarium air pump um, moves this needs a tube into water solution. Uh, Moves nutrient solution or water with minerals into the aquarium with plants. I think this means this text. Okay, a tube from a fish aquarium outside was connected to the irrigation tube in the nutrient tank. This needed tank with a nutrient solution. Tank means just bottle with water or box, different material. Okay, a tube from a fish aquarium pump outside was connected with irrigation tube in the nutrient tank. The air pump, the air pump just drives it, moves water in the tube. Where I did, damn it. A tube from fish aquarium pump outside. Okay, the air pump tube was connected to the larger diameter irrigation tube. This tube connected large diameter. The space between the walls of the tubes at their connection permitted water to move up by the force of the air entering the irrigation tube as shown. Figure 1.2. This just moves from tank the solution. Solution reservoir, aluminum support bar, perforable plastic tube, pin solution tube. This is zoom. This is tube 1, tube 2, this large diameter, this small diameter, this connected to the pump. And aquarium tube. Presently, with the increased interest in home hydroponics, a vast number of designs and types of systems are marketed for all types of crops. Figures 1.3 and 1.4. Let's check. Air garden kitchen unit. What means air garden? Air, nutrients. Put it into flowers? I don't know. Kitchen countertop garden ebb and flow unit. Okay. Let's continue it. Presently, with increased interest in home hydroponics, a vast number of designs and types of systems are marketed for all types of crops. They are available online and or in hydroponic outlets in most countries. Specific types of units and their application to most suitable crops to discuss later in chapters 20, 13, and 15. In the future, with increased awareness of good quality and safety, I am sure the general population will adapt hydroponic growing in their households, especially for herbs and salad crops. Commercial hydroponics in the future will become associated with tourist resorts and spas as they are emplacing wellness programs for their guests. Industries with waste heat and geothermal cities will couple with hydroponic greenhouses to produce vegetables more economically by using cheaper sources of energy for heating. Increased efficient light sources such as light emitting diodes, LED lights. I know that LEDs can be UV LEDs. This means ultravioletic light. Ultravioletic light. This means spectrum of sunlight for plants. Okay, are rapidly entering the greenhouse industry. Let's rapidly entering the greenhouse industry, or just special lamps using in greenhouses. Rapidly entering the greenhouse industry in northern latitudes where light is limited during winter months. This trend will continue with new sources of lighting. Hydroponic greenhouse operations are now being established on rooftops of buildings and the centers of cosmopolitan cities. Figure 1.5. Greenhouse hydroponic farm of the rooftop in the city. Very nicely, but okay. Such operations now exist in Montreal, New York, and are presently expanding to Vancouver and New Jersey. Another approach is to locate greenhouses and parking lots adjacent to supermarkets. These applications of hydroponics provide clients with fresh produce free of toxic pesticides and fully wine ripened fruits such as tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. Peppers. The other factor is the saving of fossil fuels in long transportation for distant markets. The product is grown on site in the retail outlet or with community supported agricultural marketing, with fresh vegetables are taken to nearby drop off points for subscribed consumers to pick up. The concept is to have households sign up as member and then pay a monthly fee to their vegetables that are in retable baskets that are either picked up in the drop outside or can be acquired in the greenhouse operation itself on specific days. I not understand this topic. Okay, just continue reading. Going one step further into the future, I accept that high-rise vertical buildings will be constructed in city centers to grow vegetables. They could also be part of a condominium. They could also be part of condominium complex where some floors or a wing of the building would be modified to grow plants with highly efficient hydroponic systems, such as rotating vertical structures. This technology of rotating, this means rotate plants? What for? Vertical hydroponic systems already exist. This means these vertical hydroponic systems, this just plastic tube, and water solution pumps into up, and this grows. Very nice. Mm. Hydroponic garden in a space station. This is like the Venus project buildings were not box, not just box houses. Mm, Now I know what from this idea can be get it. Okay. Um, where I read. Going one step further into the future, I expect that high-rise vertical buildings will be constructed in the city centers to grow vegetables. They could also be part of condominium complex where some floors or a wing of the building would be modified to grow plants with highly efficient hydroponic systems, such as rotating vertical structures. This technology of rotating vertical hydroponic systems already exists. However, the success of this high-rise greenhouse is depends on a very efficient source of supplementary lighting. So I believe that it could happen within a decade or so. Solar cells on the rooftop of the building or in a nearby parking space could provide the electrical needs for the light. Hydroponics opens up potential for growing crops under all environmental conditions, including in your home or backyard. It is the wave of a future growing for you, so be part of it. Okay, in the next video we will continue the reading the popularity and benefits of hydroponic gardening, and goodbye.